Evening, everybody. Please excuse me. Sorry about that. Welcome, everybody, to community-led medicine Buddha practice. My name is Tenphel, and I use he, they pronouns. I am currently sitting on the ancestral land of the Squaxin Island people and the Nisqually people. I'm just a volunteer who's facilitating the meeting tonight in Lama Rod's absence. And I'd like to just thank Lama Rod and the entire team that works with him for making this all possible. And a big shout out to Eli for facilitating last week. That was really, really delicious. Thank you, Eli. If you are new to this practice and to this group, please introduce yourself in the chat so that we can all get a better chance to know you. And if you are familiar with this group, please feel free to just check in the chat and let us all know how you're doing. There's a prayer request document that we will use in the middle of our mantra practice to do community prayers together. And if you get your prayers in sooner than later, it is much easier for the organization process for the practice. So please, if you have not added prayers to the prayer document, please do so now. Yes, my name is Kanchak Tempe Lunjob, and I'm not used to using that name, but Garchen Rinpoche asked me to use that name with pride, fierce pride, he said. Because it literally translates into English as spontaneously accomplish the medicine of the three jewels, which is a medicine Buddha practice. I'm going to explain the way that I practice medicine Buddha in an attempt to share my personal practice with y'all. And the reason I got into practicing medicine Buddha is because of my relationship with mental health complications and untreated substance use disorder. So I spent 16 years in active substance use disorder. Almost 9 of those years were on the street, just panhandling for bottles. There's nothing glorious about it. And I was just living in my own filth and grime. And I did not see a way out of it. And while I was on the street, I was surrounded by a lot of people who were using opiates. And at that time, Narcan wasn't legal. And if you called the police about an overdose, you could get arrested for assisting a murder. So there was just a lot of death around me. And it felt very much like a charnel ground, even though I was unaware of what charnel grounds were at the time. When I got sober, thanks to a psychiatric hospital that the police took me to against my will, when I got out of the psychiatric hospital, I started going to 12-step meetings. And while I was going to 12-step meetings, I got exposed to what is called Siddha Yoga, which is a transmission of Shaktipat that comes from Ganesh Puri, India, through Nityananda of Ganesh Puri. And then he gave it to Muktananda, and then it came to the United States. Muktananda Paramahamsa went around the West Coast and just gave people Shaktipat for free, and nobody wanted it. So he started selling it for thousands of dollars. And then all of a sudden, our consumer society thought that it had value because it costs now thousands of dollars. But regardless, in my early stages of recovery, I received Shaktipat from that tradition, that lineage. And in so, I was able to be exposed to what was explained to me as a higher power, which was in the yogic tradition destruction and transformation through time itself and death and impermanence. And the name that that was given was, consciousness or Shiva or fire. It translates to fire. And I through the 12-step process, surrendered to that fire. And as a result, I have not had any cravings for intoxicating substances for 8 years, which is an absolute miracle. But one of the structural aspects of the process of getting sober in that recovery program is that all people take refuge in this triangle of recovery, unity, and service. And to recover is to return to our natural state. And our natural state is the Buddha. And the unity of all things is what the Dharma teaches. And Sangha is all beings without exception, towards whom we are of service. So all people in 12-step programs are taking refuge, even though they might not be aware of their refuge. They might not use that word, refuge. But to get 24 hours sober, we have to stay in the triangle of recovery, unity, and service. And on the inside of the triangle, it says 24. That's how you get 1 day sober. And there's no difference between 1 day at a time and be here now, be in the moment. And how do we get into the moment? How do we get into the moment and be here now? Is we remain in the refuge of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And there is no shortage of suffering in the world, whether you have mental health complications or whether you have substance use disorder or not. There's no shortage of suffering. And according to the tantric traditions and Buddhism, there's a agreed upon source of that suffering. And the source of that suffering can be translated into 3 fires. And those fires are ignorance, attachment, and aversion. So when we are dealing with suffering, we're always dealing with either 3 of those things, 2 of those things, or 1 of those things. If we are in a state of hatred or anger, then we're dealing with all 3. And if we are thinking that things would be better if they were different, the way that I want them, or the only thing that could make this more complete is if I added something to it or took something away from it, that is attachment. And both of those things are dependent on ignorance to exist. Ignorance can be translated in a lot of different ways, but in general, I believe that if we distill it down to its essence, ignorance is just the belief in separation. Disconnection is our reality. That is the experience of ignorance. And this can be seen throughout many different pre-Abrahamic cultures. For myself, my family, my ancestors, I have Scandinavian ancestry and Irish ancestry, and we have these pre-Christian stories. And one of the Irish stories is called the Cauldron of Inspiration. And the cauldron has a witch that throws herbs into the cauldron. And then there's a man who stirs the cauldron. And then there's a boy who puts fire under the cauldron. And the boy who puts fire under the cauldron, his name's Gwion Bach, and he represents attachment. The fire is attachment, is passion, desire. And the person who stirs the cauldron is anger, he's resentment, because the cauldron is actually samsara, and he's looking in at all the suffering that's being caused in there, and he takes delight in it because it's resentment. And the goddess throwing the herbs in is ignorance in its neurotic aspect. And we can also see these things in Scandinavian mythology as the children of Loki. Loki in Scandinavian language just means fire, literally means fire. and its children are the wolf that devours the sun, which is attachment. Our selfishness devours the sun, and the serpent, the earth serpent, which is resentment, fear, and hatred, and then hell, the goddess, which is also recognized as ignorance. So we have this concept of these three forces that cause suffering throughout not just European mythos, but were culturally recognized across the world through different stories and through different expressions of culture itself. And one of the things that we can do in order to rescue ourselves from the bondage of selfishness is that we can take refuge in the three jewels, because the three jewels remove us from a state of self-centeredness. We are no longer in a state of selfishness. If I am in recognition of the Buddha that lives inside of all of us, you are the Buddha, and Eric is the Buddha, and Lama Rod is the Buddha, and I'm a Buddha. And the Buddha lives in our heart. Our heart is like the meditation cave where the Buddha just lives. And if we recognize the Buddha nature inside of ourselves and in each other and all beings without exception, then we are in non-dualistic recognition of the Buddha nature. And within that experience, there is no ignorance. And since there is no ignorance, there is nothing to be attached to. And since there is nothing to be attached to, there is nothing to have aversion towards. Therefore, all of our fires have extinguished, and we can experience what is called nirvana, which translates to English as extinguished fires. That is how we walk out of samsara into an experience called nirvana, by taking refuge in the Buddha. By taking refuge in the Dharma, we are literally taking refuge in the interconnectedness of all beings without exception, all phenomena. And we can speak what unites us. And when we speak what unites us and not what divides us, we can speak Dharma. We can share the truth with each other. And Sangha, all beings without exception, we're like mirrors of each other. We are absolutely like mirrors of each other. And the people whom we find difficult that are in our lives actually reflect back at us things about ourselves that we may need to work on. And if for some reason they're reflecting something back at us that we have a hard time digesting, and we cannot think of a time where we behaved similarly, we can simply bring to mind the reality that they act in unskillful ways because of their relationship with aversion, attachment, and ignorance. And I have a relationship with aversion, attachment, and ignorance, which inspires me to behave sometimes in unskillful and maybe even harmful ways. And in that simplicity, we can actually recognize the hurt and unskillful or harmful behavior of others as being unprocessed parts of ourselves that we have hidden from ourselves within our consciousness. The fires of ignorance, attachment, and aversion can go dormant within us. And the thing that I really enjoy about medicine Buddha practice is within the mantra, we say Bekanze, Bekanze, Maha Bekanze. So we say Bekanze 3 times. And if we recognize that all beings without exception are just reflections of the mirrors in our head, we can put the first Bekanze in our head and just forgive or accept all reflections, including our own, directly. And when we put the third Bekanze into our throat, we can just accept or forgive whatever obstructions there are that keep us from recognizing the unity of all things. And when we go into our heart with Maha Bekenze, we can simply recognize the truth of our hearts and forgive or accept whatever obstructions are inhibiting us from allowing that truth to flow and express itself to its fullest potential. And if that's difficult, sometimes we can just love and accept the obstruction itself. If we can't identify the obstruction, sometimes it's as simple as just accepting the obstruction and loving it anyways. Acceptance is a wild and beautiful word because it's a huge umbrella. To accept to accept something means that I am not struggling with it. If I am not struggling with something, I'm practicing nonviolence. In yoga, nonviolence is the path to liberation. If I accept the way things are and not the way I think things should be, then I'm not attached to the way things should be. Therefore, I'm practicing non attachment. And non attachment is the path to liberation within the Buddha Dharma. And if I accept you exactly as you are, regardless of your relationship with the three fires of suffering, that is an expression of love. If to accept somebody exactly as they are, regardless of where they're at in their process, is to love them. So to practice this acceptance is to love, is to be nonviolent, is to be non-attached. And those are three profound paths to liberation, all contained within the simplicity of one word, acceptance. So as we move through the body and through our language and into the Buddha in our heart, saying Bekenze, Bekenze, Maha Bekenze, we simply want to just accept our experience in our head, in our speech, and in our hearts. And that is one of the most profound ways that I have found to use this practice, because it transforms my relationship with ignorance into non-dualistic recognition of the Buddha nature in the Maha Bekenze in the heart. It transforms my relationship with selfishness and self-grasping into a relationship with selflessness, and it gives rise to the altruistic mind when I focus on the Dharma. And it transforms my relationship with resentment into a relationship with mirror-like clarity and joyful appreciation for everybody, even the people whom I struggle with, which is usually myself. And that's it. You know, for some people, the recognition of the Buddha is difficult. And I just want to share a story that one of my gurus, my root guru, uses to help people recognize the Buddha nature. And that story is that there is just one electricity, that there are millions of devices on the planet, electrical devices, and they all run off electricity, and there's only one electricity. There's not multiple types of electricity. And if we zoom out and we get off the planet, we actually can recognize that the electricity that's happening on these gas giants beyond the asteroid belt is the same electricity that's powering our cell phones here on Earth. And it's the same electricity that exists inside of our brains, because our brains are an electrical storm and our heart is just pumping that electricity. There is only one electricity. Electricity is energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, so it is beyond limitation and time itself. The Buddha nature is an infinite consciousness that is beyond the limitations and time itself. And I hope that that was somewhat helpful for people to be able to recognize the infinite that is housed within all finite phenomena without exception. And yeah, there is a solution to the problems that come from suffering. And the solution to that problem is to just not be selfish. If we remain in a state where we are not self centered, then our relationship with suffering drastically changes. If I am in self grasping, I will suffer. But if I am in a state of service to others or recognition of the interconnectedness of all phenomena without exception, my relationship with suffering disappears regardless of how much pain my body might actually be in. And there's a lot of peoples who have been studying ways for liberation from suffering. And I believe that there are as many authentic paths to liberation as there are people on the planet. But I also believe that there are as many authentic paths to liberation as there are cultures that have existed on Earth since beginningless time. Everybody understood these things. We were not limited. We did not restrict ourselves and incarcerate ourselves into these structures of how things work, which we call colonialism, until late in the story of human experience. And we can actually decolonize our minds through the simple act of not being selfish. Private property doesn't exist without selfishness. Property doesn't exist without selfishness. Patriarchy does not exist without selfishness. Colonialism does not exist without selfishness. Capitalism doesn't exist without selfishness. All of these colonial powers, these divisive and and superior ideologies exist on a foundation of structural and institutionalized ignorance, meaning that I am not you and I am somehow worthy of more than you, and what's yours is mine. And that is nothing more than the fire of ignorance. So we can see that the colonial forces, as they spread across the globe, had a higher power. And that higher power was ignorance itself. That capitalism, the banking system, private property, and colonialism all share this one thing, and it is that they are subservient and loyal to ignorance as their master. And one thing we can do is we can actually get out of that limitation by taking refuge in the Buddha, recognizing it in ourselves and each other, the Dharma, recognizing the interconnectedness of all phenomena without exception, and the Sangha, recognizing that all beings are worthy of being service to. If the oppressor becomes awake, the oppressor will no longer be an oppressor, because awakened people have no desire to cause harm. Harm is a side effect of the samsaric fires of ignorance, attachment, and aversion. The awakened mind, the sacred heart, does not take any pleasure in the suffering of others. So the people whom are responsible currently for the financial systems and for these wars at large, these people are deeply wrapped up in the samsaric fires. And if they get free, they will no longer be motivated to behave in such harmful and unskillful ways. And that is why I pray for them to wake up and to be healthy. And that is also why it is important to recognize the Buddha nature in the most difficult people. Recognize the way we are connected directly to the most difficult people. Recognize that the most difficult people are also mirrors within our minds. And this keeps me kind of humble. This keeps me right sized because I'm not better than them. My circumstances are different than theirs. And that's it. That is the whole entire reality of refuge in the three jewels for from my experience. And that is also the entire reality of my experience with the result of the medicine Buddha practice. I think that the medicine Buddha practice has been carried through every tantric tradition since beginningless time because it allows us to get free using the poisons of suffering as the vehicle to our liberation. And therefore, every single tantric culture that has ever existed has art that depicts this practice in great detail. Its mythos is rich, and Lama Rod's website has a beautiful resource chapter or link that allows people to access the history and resources of medicine Buddha practice through the lens of Himalayan Buddhism, which is rich and delicious in many, many ways. With that being said, I would like to start the mantra. We're just going to roll mantra. The first mantra that we roll is Om Menle Songge Kino Soha. Sangye means Buddha, Menle means medicine, and Om is um, our subconscious, conscious, superconscious, all recognizes the totality of the universe. It is the totality of the universe as consciousness itself. So the mantra literally translates to universal consciousness, medicine, Buddha, please think of me, so be it, so ha. Kino means please think of me. Oh yeah, it says so in the thing. Eric shared it. Very good. Very good. Sorry. Yeah. So we'll say that three times, and then when we are done with Medicine Buddha, please think of me. We will roll the Medicine Buddha mantra, which is Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Sumugate Soha. So let's begin with Om Menle Sangye Kino Soha. Om Menle Sangye Kino Soha. Om Menle Sangye Kino Soha. Now I'm just going to walk us through the practice one more time in case for any reason it was confusing for anyone. When we say Bekenze, I'd like to encourage people who want to just accept whatever they are experiencing within their heads. And then when we say the second Beikanze, I'd like to encourage people to simply accept whatever phenomena they are experiencing in their throats and neck. And then when we say the third Maha Bekenze, I'd like to encourage people to simply accept or forgive whatever they are experiencing within their heart. You do not have to do this. You can do whatever you like. But I would like to encourage you to try it and see what happens. We're going to do 55 Medicine Buddha mantras, and then we'll do the prayers. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rata sumudgate soha. Te ata om bekanze, bekanze, 마하베간지 라자 수뭇가테소하 teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha teata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumudgate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha te ata om bekanze bekanze ma bekanze ratsa sumut gate soha. At this time, I'm going to enter the prayer dock and we are going to read the Medicine Buddha prayer requests for time's sake. I think I may have bit off a little more than I could chew with the 55. But we'll roll the mantra some more after we go through the prayers. I have this prayer wheel, which is blessed by the entirety of the Drikung Kagyu. And for those of you who do not know, the Drikung Kagyu played a foundational role in the resistance army when the Chinese occupation, the Cultural Revolution came into Tibet. This prayer wheel was given to my mother by Garchen Rinpoche, and my mother gave it to me. It has 55 billion prayers inside of it on microfilm. It has 50 billion Om Mani Padme Hum, and it has 5 billion Green Tara, Om Tara Tutara Ture Soha. And we're just going to use this prayer wheel as a way to provide a little bit of support and motivation for our community prayer practice. Prayers of protection to my wife and unborn son as they go through together the process of labor and birth today and tomorrow. May they be healthy and free from trauma. Prayers for myself and my partner as we take an intentional break from each other over the next few weeks as part of sorting out the next chapter of our relationship. May we both be held and hold ourselves in compassion and care, find whatever supports we need to make it through this difficult and uncomfortable time, and have whatever clarity we need revealed. Prayers and blessings to my family, Joy, Sullivan, Adeline, and Bear. They continue to shine their radiance on me, and I feel enlivened. Prayers and blessings to those who feel alone, which is different from solitude. Prayers that my connections with land deepens every day, and that all my actions should serve all beings. Prayers for a safe, stable death for Stacy's father. Prayers that Stacy's mother is supported so that she feels sanity, comfort, and stability in the death of her husband. Prayers for Mother Earth and her sweet beings in pursuit of liberation. May we support each other with compassion. Prayers for me to protect my boundaries at work and act from a place of service and love. Prayers for healing with my brother. Prayers for my mom. May she feel at ease in her surroundings. Prayers for my continued journey with grief after my partner's passing. Prayers for Robin as she deals with the court system. Prayers for B as she deals with issues of health and aging. Prayers for T and B as he recovers from heart surgery. Prayers that I let go of what no longer serves as I step into a deeper commitment to my work and work of abolition and freedom. Prayers for all beings to be well, safe, and free as soon as possible. Prayers for R's cousin who is hospitalized. Prayers for A to trust in the process and how long things take. Prayers for Z to find her voice. Prayers for my mother and her husband as they move through the separation process. May they see each other's precise essence clearly and act in ways that serve their and my little brother's well-being. Prayers for my friends A and J as they continue to experience chronic illness and disability, for everyone grieving the anniversary of the Lapu Lapu Festival tragedy. Prayers for Palestine, Lebanon, Iran, Sudan, Congo, Ukraine, and everyone experiencing violence and oppression. Prayers for clarity, focus, and strength for myself and my family to see and support each other as we manage life without my beautiful son. Prayers of help towards my full safety, autonomy, and sovereignty as quickly as possible. Prayers for C to believe she has something to offer. Prayers for JB to get free. Prayers of gratitude for all of the help I receive every day. Prayers for deep support, guidance, and safety for my daughter. Prayers for the very best possible outcome for my darling dog, Dahlia. Prayers for Jerry A. as she deals with home renovation problems. Prayers for my health to improve and for me to have a more peaceful life. Prayers that I may surrender in all the ways I need to. Prayers for me as I move through this grief and these changes. Rachel here. I was in an auto accident on Saturday. Luckily, I am basically just fine. So much gratitude for that, but have to get past the shock. I also have to buy a new car. Not something I had planned on at all. I would appreciate prayers for calming my nervous system and healing. Also prayers for Frank Ballard and Brian O'Grady, both suffering from multiple fractures and incredible difficulties long-term for healing. Many thanks. Prayers for my nephew Danny, who died by his own hand a couple of weeks ago. Prayers for my brother and sister-in-law and their grief and suffering at Danny's passing. Prayers that this journey through the bardo is swift, that he makes his way to the nearest realm of source as quickly as possible, and that his soul may once again experience joy and peace. Prayers for M, Z, A, and R to experience protection, healing, and freedom. Prayers for my mental health. Prayers for Sophie and everyone who refuses to give up on people, especially when it gets difficult. Prayers for the health of all indigenous populations and for the health of all colonial peoples. Prayers for everyone in the military, whether it be United States or foreign, everyone who is putting their lives at risk so that the greedy can create more suffering. Prayers for Brianna and everyone who has lived with substance use disorder and mental health complications of a loved one and who has lost a loved one. And prayers for all of the loved ones lost. Prayers for my mother and all elderly people. May they have good health and safe blood pressures. Prayers for the health and freedom of all beings without exception. And with that, we will return to the mantra. Teata Om. Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha. Bekanze. Ratsa Sumukate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha Bekanze. Ratsa Sumukate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha Bekanze. Ratsa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha Bekanze. Ratsa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha Bekanze. Ratsa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha Bekanze. Ratsa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha Bekanze. Ratsa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze. Bekanze. Maha Bekanze. Ratsa Sumudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Rasa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Ma Bekanze Ratsa Sumudgate Soha. I hope that this practice in that form of using the refuge, the three jewels, to transform the three poisons brings great benefit to you and everybody connected to you, whether it's good or bad connections. Like I said earlier, I was unhoused for almost 9 years and in active substance use disorder for 16. And I've been drug free now for 8 years. My on May 1st, ironically enough, was my 8th year of consecutive sobriety. And it's in that 8 years, I've been able to transform my relationship with suffering into a relationship with of service to all beings in a way that doesn't re-traumatize myself in an unmanageable way. Thanks to this practice, I went from being unhoused and addicted to being incarcerated. And then I went from incarcerated into recovery. And from recovery, I've I've been able to work at a Suboxone clinic as a peer counselor without harmfully re-traumatizing myself. And I was able to work as an overnight manager at a homeless shelter without harmfully and unmanageably re-traumatizing myself thanks to this practice. And now I go into jails, and I've been to jail many times, not on purpose and not as an act of service. But now I go into jails and I give meditation classes to the inmates. And as a result of that, I went from being homeless and addicted to now I'm on the board of religious advisors for Washington State Corrections. And within the year, I'm looking at becoming the director of Buddhist programs for all 10 prisons in Washington State. All of that is due to the transformation of poison into love and wisdom through meditation practice, and for recognizing that I need help and I need teachers. And a lot of that help and a lot of that teaching that I receive comes from Sangha community, and that is all of you. And I take refuge in you all. Thank you all so much. May the merit of these practices go towards the benefit and liberation of all beings without exception. Om Swaha.
Do do we want to get all three people before we start, or you want to do one
I'm down
round?
for whatever system sounds good for you, Miss Sharon.
Oh, um, I think it'll be smoother if we get the next two people lined up so we can just move forward. So is there a second volunteer?
I can do it.
And I can do it.
Okay,
Thank you.
then I will start as soon as I line my. So taking a breath together just to kind of reorient to practice. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away, and may I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space.
At first, I was kind of bummed that I forgot about that part, but now I'm really glad that I forgot about that part. Thanks, everyone.
The weave will be woven no matter what, friends.